Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Now, Jim, I just spoke to you about your fighters in this gym, but I did forget to ask you about Anthony Joshua. Being that you are a coach and stuff like that now, we've seen on social media that Anthony Joshua is out in the States right now. I'm seeing him with Eddie Reynoso, Virgil Hunter. He's now with Ronnie Shields out in Texas. I mean, just what's your thoughts on Joshua? It looks like he is maybe fishing for a new trainer. Just as a coach yourself, what's your thoughts?
Well, you know, it's you as a fighter, you have to make these type of decisions. Sometimes they're not nice, but if he feels like he needs a change for his career, then he needs a change. If he didn't, then he wouldn't be looking elsewhere. I don't think from a technical or a tactical point of view he needs a change from Rob McCracken. I think Rob knows him inside out, and you know, from looking from the outside in, I would be saying you don't need to change trainer. I'd stick with what you know best. But he obviously feels like he needs a change, and you know, I think over the years, you know, 15, 20 years ago, a fighter going to America to get a trainer made sense because probably the depth and quality wasn't the same. I don't think that's the case now. I think we've got a lot of top class coaches over there and fighters, and you know, we're level pegging at least, or maybe even in front of America. But if it's a decision what he's making based on he needs a change of scenery, he needs to refocus, needs to take himself away from here to make sure that he can focus properly, then I understand that. Whether he could take Rob away is probably not an option because of Rob's commitments over here, and maybe that's the reason. So I don't know. We're all sort of guessing really. But if the bottom line for me is, if AJ feels like he needs a change of scenery or a change of trainer for whatever reason, then he needs one, because he obviously needs that change to reinvigorate himself, and he feels like he needs to do it. So,
in terms of the change in coaching stuff, lad, do you feel like after that Usyk fight, a lot of people thought that the tactics was all wrong in that fight to face somebody like Usyk? He was trying to box the boxer, when some people say you fight the boxer and you box the fighter. Again, did you feel that the tactics were wrong in that first fight, and do you think that maybe be the reason that he's out in America right now?
Maybe, but I don't know. If hindsight's a great thing, innit? And you know, you look at things before. It would have been so obvious to go. She's already had great success against Usyk, so that's how you go about it. And maybe they was going, well, you know, he's going to expect that, so let's give him a few different problems and then we'll push on later on. I just feel like maybe Usyk's not getting enough credit for the way he boxed and how intelligent he was. So, yeah, I think if the game plan was just to outbox him, then I think it can't have been a good one, because why are you going to try and outbox Usyk? It seems crazy unless you're someone like Fury who's sort of capable on that level of doing it. Joshua's one of his biggest assets is his punching power and his sort of physical attributes. When he came in light, I sort of thought, I hope he's not going to try and box him. And then it sort of seemed like that was the case. So I always thought it would have been better for him to come in nearer 18 stone and been explosive and big and strong and take a few risks early on. You know, get close, unsettle Usyk, not let him get into a rhythm, and then try and land and hurt him and make him sort of more cautious. But yeah, it's easier said than done against someone who's so sort of astute and tactical as Usyk.
The tactics were right. They'll come in light and then box Ruiz in the rematch because he was the fighter. I think he kept the same tactics for Usyk, and maybe that's. I'm not a boxing. I love boxing, but I'm not that inclined to work out tactics and stuff like that. But do you think that's what the case was? He thought he'd done so well in the rematch against Ruiz that was his sort of style now, instead of being that big brute that we were expecting, the big left hook, uppercuts and stuff like that. Yeah,
I mean, it did work to be fair for him in the rematch, and I think against Pulev, it seemed like he was much more. His ring generalship was much better. He seemed to have added to his style, but I've just been saying in a different interview, why would you take a fighter's best attributes? So sorry, what a fighter's the best part of their style? Why would you ever want to sort of move away from that? You'd want to add to it, of course, but you never want to take the best part away from him. And you know, going back to when AJ first came on the scene, he was so exciting to watch. And that's definitely sort of his best attribute, is his explosiveness and his punching power and his size. And maybe they should have tried to use that a little bit more. But again, hindsight's a great thing, and maybe he'll do that in the rematch. Who knows?
I don't know if you've heard, but right now over Twitter and stuff like that, Dillian White's off the card. Well, apparently with a shoulder injury, it's not been. I don't know if it's been confirmed anywhere yet, but a lot of people on Twitter talking about it. Now, again, it's fresh news. We don't know, but Chantel could be bumped up to main event if they keep the card on. Just what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're just hearing rumours, so we really don't know at the moment. If that's the case, you'd like to think it's so close to the fight now that they'll keep the card, and like you say, Chantel world champion, natural thing would be to move her up to the top of the bill. They may just sort of offer people refunds who've come to watch Dillian White only and reduce the size of the arena slightly or whatever. I don't know, but you'd like to think that maybe they go ahead with the card, because everyone's put a full training camp in now, and everyone's ready to fight.
Definitely, it's a fight that I want to see. Obviously, Chantel, it's her dream to become unified world champion. I think I spoke to her 18 months ago, and that was her dream, and that was almost here. It's a shame to think that she might not get the opportunity in next weekend. So fingers crossed it does go ahead. But Jamie, listen, I've got a long drive back up to Scotland, so I'm going to leave you in peace. Do your thing, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, Andy.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, mate.